Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, my dear student. How are you? I think you are well in your home, and I'm also well. I'm going to take another class of class 7 today. First of all, welcome to all of you, my student. And then my identity. What do you see in the picture? I think you can imagine what do you see in the picture. In the picture there is a lady who is standing before the TV screen, and she is Lucy Martin. She's a famous weather reporter, okay, in BBC. She's one of the top 10 disabled women in the world, who is to be remembered. And in the picture there is another woman who is to be remembered. Can you tell me who is she? Yeah, she is Muniba Mijari, and she is also a famous lady, and she is one of the top designers, fashion designers of the world, and she is also a disabled woman. For this reason, she is to be remembered. And in the picture, we can see a Bangladeshi woman, and she is Sabina, who is also famous for her humanitarian activities. And she is also a top disabled women of our country. For this reason, she is to be remembered. And everybody of you knows the lady who is another humanitarian, Mother Teresa. She is humanitarian of all of the Mother Teresa. And in our screen we can see a picture. Can you tell me what is the picture is related to? Guess what is the picture is related to? I think you can tell me. Okay, can you tell me what is the picture is related to, and who is she in the screen? Can you tell me? Yes, she is Helen Keler. She is Helen Keler, a great woman who is remembered to be remembered everywhere and forever. So today our topic is Helen Keler, great women to remember. Okay. First of all, our learning outcome. What will you achieve from that topics today? First of all, after the end of the lesson, we will be able to earn some new words, read and understand the text, ask and answer question, and talk and write about people. Okay, first of all, we will learn some new words or vocabulary. In the screen, there is a word disabled. Can you tell me what is the meaning of disabled? You can guess after watching the picture. You can tell me what is the meaning of disabled? Yes, disabled means unable to use a part of the body. The person who is unable to use his parts of the body is a disabled. Okay? Here is another word, communication. Can you tell me what is the meaning of communication? Here is a symbol of communication. Two person is communicating with a media. So, what is the meaning of communication? Communication is a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behavior. Okay, we can communicate with anybody also by our behavior, okay, or by our gesture also. What is the meaning of the word academic? Can you tell me what is the meaning of academic? Yes, it is a symbol of academic. It's an academic picture. So the meaning of academic is based on formal study, especially at an institution of higher learning or higher education. Okay, so there is another word what is related to the chapter of our topics today. Deep. Can you tell me what is the meaning of deep? Here is a symbol of deep. The word means by the symbol of the picture. Okay. So the meaning of deep is lacking or deficient in the sense of hearing. Okay, lacking or deficient in the sense of hearing. So there is another word, interpret. Can you tell me what is the meaning of interpret? Yes, it is the process of interpreting, and it is the symbol of interpretation of anything, of any language. Okay, so the meaning of interpret is to explain or to expose any word, to tell the meaning of present in understandable terms. Okay, so interpret means to explain or tell the meaning of present in understandable terms, or it can be said that to represent by means of art. It's one kind of art to be represent. Okay, we can see in this picture. It is one kind of art to represent the language. Okay, so it is another word, gradually. Can you tell me what is the meaning of gradually? Yes, it is the symbol of gradual anything, any situation. There is a plant, and it is a process of gradually growing. Okay, so gradually means moving or changing or developing by steps or degrees. Something is changing or moving or developing gradually or by steps and steps. Okay, so there is another word, skill. It is a practical term of a word. So here we can see Messi, a famous player who is playing in the field, and he is very skilled player, and showing his skillness in the controlling of the ball and to goal, scoring goal. Okay, so the meaning of skill is the ability to use one's knowledge effectively. The ability one's knowledge to use it effectively. Okay, so we have learned or earned some new vocabularies here, and after that we will know the biography of Helen Keler, who is the great woman, and he had to struggle in his early life. It was very hard to overcome from that situation, and her turning point was a teacher. It was a God-gifted teacher. She changed her life by hard work. Okay, first of all, we will see her childhood picture. So here is a biography of Helen Keler. Helen Adams Keller was born a healthy child. Okay, he was born in a healthy child in Tuscumbia, Alabama on June 27, 1880. Her parents were Kate Adams Keller, and mother was Colonel Arthur Keller. Okay, and after that, one day she was ill, and she got a fever, which was unknown to all on that time. And at the age of 19 month, less than 2 years of old age, Helen became deaf and blind. It is unfortunate for her. She became deaf and blind together as a result of an unknown illness, perhaps rubella or scarlet fever. It was unknown on the time, rubella and scarlet fever. It was one kind of fever. As Helen grew from infancy into childhood, she became wild and unruly because of her blindness and deafness. She was somewhat wild. Okay, we can see a video here. We will know some other information from the video.
Her hand with my fingers. Then one day, about a month after I arrived, we were walking outside.
Something important happened. We heard someone pumping water. One day, Helen was blind, fully blind and deaf and dumb. One day, her teacher found a sound of pumping water. On the time, pumping water was poured by pumping. And her teacher said, I put Helen's hand under the cool water and formed the word water in her other hand. In one hand, I poured some water, and in her other hand, I draw the letter water. water. For more than one time, she drew in her one hand, in her palm of hand. I formed the word again and again. She formed the word again and again in her one hand, and in another hand, he poured some water in her hand. For that reason, She was the great teacher of all the time. Helen looked straight up at the sky. Helen on the time looked straight on the sky as if a lost memory or thought of some kind was coming back to her. When she looked on the sky, she thought that some kind of strength or memory or thought was back into her. Suddenly, the whole mystery of language seemed clear to her. হঠাৎ করে তার কাছে সবকিছু পরিষ্কার হয়ে গেল, তার সবকিছু মনে পড়ে গেল। I could see that the word water meant something wonderful and cool that flowed over her hand. She felt it when the water flowed onto her hand. The word became alive for her. The word became alive for her. It awakened her spirit. Spirit means atta. It awakened her spirit, gave it light and hope. এবং এটা তাকে আশা এবং তাকে আলো এনে দেয়। তার মনের মধ্যে একটা আলো এসে যায়। So it was her turning point to become a literate person. Okay. On the situation, what we have read out, Annie was Helen Keler's teacher. So Annie took Helen to the water pump outside and put Helen's hand under the spout. As the cool water gushed over one hand, she spilled into the other hand the word water. First slowly, then rapidly. On the first time, she poured the word slowly and then rapidly. Suddenly, the signals had meaning in Helen's mind. হঠাৎ করে হ্যালেন্সের মনের মধ্যে এর মিনিংটা চলে আসলো। She knew that the water, সে বুঝতে পারলো যে এটা পানি, meant the wonderful cool substance following over her hand. এবং সে বুঝতে পারলো যে পানির মতো এমন একটা কিছু আমার হাতের মধ্যে এসে পড়ছে। So it is her turning point to become a learned person of Helen Keler. From a very young age, Helen was determined to go to college. In 1898, she entered the Cambridge School for young ladies to prepare for Radcliffe College. So she entered Radcliffe in the fall of 1900 and received a Bachelor of Arts degree cum laude in 1904. The first deaf blind person to do so. And she was the first deaf blind person who did the unbelievable things, and she achieved the Bachelor of Arts degree from that college. It was unbelievable. And in her early life, during 7 trips, she trips a lot of journey during her 7 trips between 1946 and 1957. She visited 35 countries on 5 continents. She met with world leaders such as Winston Churchill, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Golda Meir. So here is another video clip to be seen. Very carefully you have to remember it, and you cannot hear. She is learning or feeling the language. It is her teacher. When illness left her blind and deaf, when she was a very little age of child, she struggled to communicate. She struggled so much to communicate with each other or understand the world around her, until she found a gifted teacher. Annie Sullivan is a very God-gifted teacher for her, and she changed her life, who became her lifelong companion. Okay, she was her lifelong companion until she was died. Annie Sullivan spelled words into Keler's palm. Okay, her teacher is spelled the words into her palms, and she pronounced it in her mouth, and she felt it, and taught her to ascribe meaning. Okay, by pouring water over her hands.
It has a name.
Following this breakthrough, it was her breakthrough. She became a powerful force for disabled. By 10, she could speak and read Braille. Do you know what is the meaning of Braille? Braille is a letter or language of blind person who is writing by dot. She was the first deaf and blind person who obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree. She published 12 books. It's unbelievable. She published 12 books by writing of her own, and founded Helen Keler International. Her name and fame spread out all over the world to reduce cases of blindness she go through all over the world to help the people who are blind and deaf and and they are deprived of their rights to live. They help them. Millions of have had their own patient by heart and saved or restored as a result. It is her famous quoted from her book, "Alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much." It is her one of the most famous quoted from her written books. Okay, so we should imagine if anybody can wish, or if anybody has a determination to do something, he can do it definitely. Okay, so Helen Keler died on June 1, 1968 at Arkan Ridge, a few weeks short of her 88th birthday. Her ashes were placed next to her companions Annie Sullivan, Massey, and Polly Thompson. So here is also a video of her.
A part of their so-called act was later filmed. It is the only existing record of Annie Sullivan's voice.
When I saw Helen Keler
Actually, it is a
first,
video
she was
of her
6 years and
learning the
21
language from her
She
teacher.
had been blind and deaf and mute since her 19th month as a result of an illness. She had no way of communicating
Very
with
carefully
those around
learn it.
her except a few imitated
Listen to
signs
it very carefully,
that
my
she
dear
had
students.
made for herself. A push meant go, pull meant come, and so on. She had observed that we did not use the hands when we were talking to each other. And I let her see, by putting her hand on my face, how we talk with our mouths. She felt the vibration of the spoken word. Instantly she spelled, "I want to talk with my mouth." That seemed impossible. But after experimenting for a time, we found that placing her hand in this position, the thumb resting on the throat, right at the larynx, the first finger on the lips, the second on the nose, we found that she could feel the vibration of spoken words. For instance, the throat, she feels the G, the hard G, the. And on the lips, she feels and the K sound. On the lips, she feels the B, and with the second finger on the nose, the nasal sound, the 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 first word she learned to articulate was the little word "it." With the hand in this position, I made the vowel "it." She felt it. It. Then I made the T. She feels it with the finger on her lips, on my lips. Then I put the two letters letters together to form the word it, and the first word was learned. After her seventh lesson, she was able to speak the sentence word by word. I am not dumb now.
I'm not dumb now. It was her first sentence. It was her first sentence. I am not dumb now. So she learned her language by feeling her teachers speaking and the vibration of her speaking, vibration of her thought and lips. Okay, so it is actually incredible. Okay, so here is a quotation. Here is a quotation from her famous 10 course. I will not just live my life. I will not just live my life. I will not just spend my life. And I will invest my life. মানে সে কি বলছে একটু খেয়াল করো, আই উইল নট জাস্ট লিভ মাই লাইফ, আমি শুধু আমার মানে আমি বেঁচে থাকার জন্য আসি নাই, আই উইল নট জাস্ট স্পেন্ড মাই লাইফ, আমি আমার জীবনটাকে শুধু ব্যয় করার জন্য আসি নাই, আই উইল ইনভেস্ট মাই লাইফ, আমি আমার জীবনটাকে এখানে বিনিয়োগ করার জন্য এসেছি যাতে আমার এই জীবনটা দিয়ে অনেকে উপকৃত হতে পারে। সো ইট ইজ হার গ্রেট কোটেশন ফ্রম হার স্পিচ. Okay, here's evaluation from evaluation. I will evaluate you by the questions here. First of all, in the first question, whom did Helen Keler work for? Whom did Helen Keler work for? Helen Keler কাদের নিয়ে কাজ করেছেন? The person who are deprived of their rights to speak and hear, especially the deaf and dumb and blind people. When and where was she born? You know, from the text, and you will have to write the answer of the questions in your notebook by watching or by reading the text from your book and from the class. Okay, and who was Captain Arthur Keller, and how did Helen Keller